Ever feel like your mind's a pinball machine? Bouncing around, never really landing anywhere.
Totally. Like having a million tabs open in your brain.
Yeah, exactly. And trying to get anything done these days. With
Right.
everything vying for our attention, it's a struggle. That's what we're digging into today for you. Focus.
And we're going deep with The Power of Unwavering Focus by Dan DePani. You guys requested this one.
It's like a crash course in how to actually focus so you can use these ideas.
Exact.
Dan DePani's story is interesting too. He was a monk, a Hindu monk. Talk about a life of discipline. That's where he honed these focus skills.
Right. And in the book, he says that focus is not something you're born with.
It was like some people just have it,
Nope. It's a skill, like learning guitar or something. You build it up. And Dan DePani says it can change everything.
Big claims.
Big claims, but the book lays it all out step by step. It starts with the WHY of focus. Why is it a big deal? Then how your mind actually works.
We all think we know our minds, but do we really?
Right. So part 2 is all about that. Then he gives you the actual techniques, how to concentrate, build willpower, and finally using these techniques in real life to get stuff done.
That's the part we all want, right?
For sure.
So today we're hitting those powerful opening ideas, the stuff that hooks you, plus the best, most usable advice. This is for you if you want the core of the book, what you can actually apply.
Exactly. We're going to challenge some ideas too, like life is short, and really break down how the mind works. Ready to jump in?
Let's do it. So first up, why is focus so important? Why should we care?
Well, Dan DePani starts with this story about his friend Moritz. Smart guy, entrepreneur. And Moritz asks him, if finding your purpose is so important, why do you always talk about the mind and focus first? It's a good question.
Yeah, seems backwards. Shouldn't purpose come first?
That's what Moritz thought too. But Dan DePani explains that your purpose actually comes through your mind. And you need to understand your mind, be able to focus it, to even figure out what your purpose is.
It's like you need the right tool for the job. A blurry mind can't find a sharp purpose.
Exactly. So it's a sequence. Understand your mind, develop focus, then discover your purpose.
Then from purpose comes priorities, right? What really matters to you.
Right. And your priorities shape how you live, your lifestyle, and the end result, happiness. That's the goal.
Happiness because you're focused on what matters, not just bouncing around.
Exactly. And he gives some amazing examples of people with laser focus. Nelson Mandela, 27 years in prison, never losing sight of his vision.
That's incredible.
Right. Or people who just had this burning desire and achieved what seemed impossible. The Wright brothers, Edison, Hillary and Norgay, Rosa Parks, Gandhi.
All driven by focus. It's inspiring.
It really is. And he makes this point. We can't just wait for focus to happen.
Like it'll magically appear one day?
Nope. Can't rely on the environment or our own messy minds to do it for us. We have to decide. Make the effort.
Take control.
Exactly. And he has this beautiful analogy from his guru, Gurudeva. It's about tissue paper. If you lift the center of the tissue paper, all the connected parts lift too.
Oh, I like that.
Right. So when you lift yourself up through focus, the people connected to you, they're lifted too. It's not just selfish.
It ripples out.
It does. And he talks about this inextinguishable desire, this unwavering belief, like it fuels your focus, helps you overcome anything. He wanted to be a monk, and his sheer desire, his conviction got him through all the challenges.
It's like that inner fire that pushes you forward, even when others doubt.
Exactly.
Okay, so you have to really believe in the importance of focus. And then how do we actually manage our energy? You mentioned that connection earlier.
Right. So he talks about making the case for focus. It's like he realized he was teaching about focus, but not really explaining why it's so vital for a fulfilling life.
We need to be convinced ourselves, not just go through the motions.
Exactly. If you don't truly get why focus matters, it's so much harder to stick with it. Like trying to diet without really understanding why you want to be healthier.
You'll cave at the first donut.
Exactly. So understanding the why is crucial. And then that ties into energy management. When you're clear on your purpose, your priorities, your energy goes where it needs to go.
It's directed, not wasted.
Right. And he emphasizes this. Where awareness goes, energy flows. And that shapes what you create in your life. If your focus is all over the place, so is your energy. And it's hard to achieve anything meaningful.
So focus is like the steering wheel for your energy.
Exactly. Now, let's shift gears a bit. You know that saying, life is short?
Yeah, we all say it.
He challenges that. He says, instead of life is short, say life is finite. It's a subtle change, but it's powerful.
What's the difference?
Short can kind of imply a lack of opportunity. Finite means there's a limit. a boundary. And he wants you to think about that, really reflect on it.
Not in a morbid way, but just to appreciate the time we have.
Right. It should motivate you. Discover your purpose, live a life that matters because your time is limited. He quotes Harriet Beecher Stowe, who said, "The biggest regrets are words left unsaid and things left undone."
Powerful stuff.
It is. And he points out something interesting about how we treat those closest to us. We're often more tolerant of distractions, inattention with them, maybe because we assume they'll always be there.
It's like we take them for granted a bit.
Maybe. But with others, like clients or coworkers, we're more careful. Inattention can have consequences.
Interesting.
And that's where thinking about life being finite helps. It sharpens your priorities, focuses your energy on what really matters. Dan Depani says he thinks about time being finite almost every day. Not about death, but just that his time is limited. It helps him stay focused.
It's a reminder to be present, not waste time on the unimportant.
Exactly. Okay, so how do we actually get better at this focus thing? He talks a lot about repetition and mastery.
Like practice makes perfect.
Exactly. Consistent practice is key. He uses the piano analogy. You can't learn to play by practicing once a month. You have to keep at it.
And in the book, he actually uses repetition a lot. It's like he's drilling these ideas into us.
He is, and it's intentional. He says repetition is a powerful way to program your subconscious. It's how his guru taught him, and it works. But he also stresses the importance of having the right mindset. Be prepared to learn. Be humble, be open, and don't try to twist the advice to fit what you already want to do.
It's like asking for directions and then ignoring them because you think you know a better way.
Exactly, you might get lost. And he talks about breaking down big goals into smaller steps. Like walking from New York to LA, the whole journey seems impossible, but you just focus on taking the next step.
One step at a time.
Exactly. He even asked Joe DeSena, the Spartan race guy, about wanting to quit during those crazy races. And Joe said it's all about focusing on those small wins, the progress you're making.
It's like the mental toughness comes from those small victories adding up.
Totally. And he has this amazing analogy, the Colorado River carving the Grand Canyon. Tiny drops of water over millions of years created this massive thing. Small things consistently done create huge results.
Powerful image. And he says those small steps, they're doable. No pressure.
Right. Okay, now for a really big idea, understanding your mind. He says this is crucial for unwavering focus. And he starts by separating awareness from the mind itself.
Okay, that sounds complicated. What's the difference?
He says awareness is like the separate thing. It's the part of you that moves through your mind. He says you are awareness, not your mind. Your mind is like a landscape, and your awareness is what travels through it.
Okay, I think I'm following.
So your awareness is what moves, not your mind. And wherever your awareness goes in your mind, that's what you become conscious of.
So if I'm feeling happy, it's not that my whole mind is happy, it's just that my awareness is in the happy part of my mind.
Exactly. He uses the analogy of a mansion. Your mind is a mansion with lots of rooms, each representing different emotions. Happy room, angry room, scared room, and so on. When you feel angry, your awareness is in the angry room.
But you're not anger itself, you're just experiencing that part of your mind.
Exactly. And this is important because it means you can choose which rooms to spend time in. He talks about Nelson Mandela again, saying that maybe he stayed so positive in prison because he could control where his awareness went in his mind.
He chose to focus on hope, even in that situation.
Exactly. And he gives a more everyday example. He says he consciously shifts his awareness to empathy before talking to his daughter.
So he can be more understanding and present.
Exactly. It's like preparing for a trip. By controlling your awareness, you can prepare for different experiences and choose how to respond instead of just reacting.
Okay, so that leads to another big idea. Where awareness goes, energy flows.
Yes, he's serious about that one. And he's careful about the words awareness and mind. They have specific meanings. He says your awareness is always moving, responding to things around you. Remember Priya's day in the book. She's analyzing politics, then watching a movie trailer, then getting scared by a briefing.
Her awareness is bouncing all over the place.
And that's exhausting.
It's like our minds are on a constant roller coaster.
Right. And he uses this dog analogy. Your awareness is like a dog. It can be untrained and running wild, untrained but on a leash, or trained and obedient. The goal is to train your awareness dog so it focuses where you want it to.
I like that.
And wherever your awareness goes, your energy goes too. He uses the garden bed analogy. If you focus on the angry garden bed, you're watering it, making it stronger.
So we're shaping our own minds by where we focus our awareness.
Exactly. And he brings in Nikola Tesla, who said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. He connects that to Hindu philosophy.
Whoa, get in deep.
It is deep. And the point is, emotions are energy. They have a magnetic pull on your awareness. And if you spend a lot of time in certain areas of your mind, those areas become strong, like permanent homes for your awareness.
Like if you focus on negativity a lot, you get stuck there.
Exactly. And unresolved stuff in your subconscious, that's like a magnet too. It keeps pulling you back. He uses the analogy of a path in the jungle. The more you walk it, the easier it gets to follow. Same with your mind. The more you focus on certain things, the easier it becomes to go back there.
So we have to be conscious of where we're focusing, or we'll just keep following those old paths.
Right. And that's where bringing awareness to attention comes in. That's the first step to taking control.
How do we do that?
He says awareness needs to become aware of itself. It's like your awareness noticing what it's doing. He uses this example of a friend watching a movie. To get their attention, you have to detach their awareness from the screen.
Like call their name.
Exactly. And you can do that with your own awareness too. When you notice it drifting, you gently guide it back.
It's like being the observer of your own mind.
Right. He goes back to the movie analogy. You can be lost in the movie, or you can step back and observe your own experience of watching it. That's detaching your awareness.
Powerful stuff.
And he says, you can use this in everyday life. Like someone's being negative and you can choose to detach your awareness from that negativity.
You don't get sucked in.
Exactly. He gives the example of the subway argument. People who reacted, they weren't controlling their awareness.
And that ability to detach comes from observation, which comes from concentration.
Exactly. Now, here's a big one. He says we need to teach focus. Like it should be part of education for everyone.
More than meditation.
He thinks so. He talks about being in school and always being told to concentrate, but no one ever taught him how.
Right. It's like saying be smarter, but not giving any tools.
Exactly. And he compares that to how we often just medicate kids with ADHD. He's not against medication, but he wonders if we're even teaching them how to focus in the first place.
It's like we're trying to fix a symptom without addressing the root cause.
Right. He says, we teach kids to read, we teach them math, we teach them music. Why not teach them concentration?
It's a skill, like any other.
Exactly. We teach, we train, we practice. So what is concentration exactly? He defines it as the ability to keep your awareness on one thing until you consciously choose to move it.
Simple enough.
Right. And he clears up a misconception. He says it's not about focusing on one thing for hours and hours. He tells this story about a nurse who's doing a million things at once, but she's fully present with each task.
She's like multitasking, but with focus.
Exactly. And she thought she wasn't good at concentrating because she was switching tasks all the time. But Dandapani said, no, you're doing it right. You're consciously moving your awareness, but you're fully focused on each thing in the moment.
So even if it's just for a few seconds, if you're truly present, that's concentration.
Exactly.
That's encouraging, actually. It makes focus seem more attainable.
It does. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the key takeaways?
What should we remember?
First, remember the difference between awareness and mind. You are awareness. You have the power to choose where it goes. Second, where awareness goes, energy flows. So be mindful of where you're focusing. And third, concentration is a skill. You can learn it, you can practice it, you can get better at it.
Amazing stuff. If you're watching this on YouTube, we'd love to hear your thoughts. How do these ideas resonate with your own experience? What are your aha moments? Drop a comment below. Let's keep the conversation going.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Dandapani's book has so much more. Tools, techniques, insights. We encourage you to check out The Power of Unwavering Focus for yourself.
It's worth the read. And if you like this deep dive, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to Book Reviews 1 for more deep dives like this.
And as you go about your day, think about this. What's one thing you do every day, almost without fail? Maybe it's brushing your teeth. Maybe it's making coffee. Whatever it is, choose to be fully present during that time. Focus your awareness on that one thing. It's a small step, but it's a start.
A step towards a more focused life.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time.
See you then.